It is a momentous day for me, particularly here on The Circle today, because our guest host is my easily #1 hero, a man I'll happily say that I'm in love with, along with my darling husband. Can you please welcome Anthony Warlow? I'm not exaggerating. I'm in seventh heaven. You've been someone that, since this high, my beautiful mother, Kaiser, introduced me to you on stage.
You're suggesting I'm old.
Experienced is maybe a word I would rather use.
Okay, wise.
I mean,
Risen.
It's not exaggerating for me to say that on the Circle couch here today, internationally, we would have one of, well, the greatest, in my opinion, musical theatre and operatic performers of our time.
You got the check. That's great. That's great. Thank you.
Obviously, so many questions I want to get out and talk to you, the girls and I. Mm-hmm. Maybe, first of all, what's the greatest challenge of being a purely vocal performer in terms of trying to maintain that magnificent instrument of yours?
Exactly that, trying to maintain it and keeping it, you know, healthy and hydrated. That's the big thing, keeping it with the right kind of hydration.
I heard Mariah Carey likes a bit of a dirty Diet Coke.
Does she?
Are you up for that?
Well, it's interesting because way back in the opera days, people would say, well, you know, if you take a little tipple of port before you would go on, it would warm the cords and, you know, get the injection of the blood into the cords, and it's all very nice and lovely. And others would say, you know, stay away from milk because milk causes catarrh and it's a glugginess. And then others would say, well, I actually have warm Coca-Cola, but the old Coca-Cola, and we're talking the 80s. Yeah. And I couldn't do it. I tried all those things, but I just couldn't do the Coca-Cola. So I don't know. Well, red wine's very good.
No, a cheeky Shiraz just to marinate the chords.
Marinate, yes, marinate for several hours before singing.
Now, reading your bio, even though I've followed your career so closely, I still couldn't get over 5 sort of pages of what you've done in terms of starting off with your opera and then leading pretty much any musical you can think of. Recently, of course, Dr. Zhivago, which was written specifically for you, and you're just about to, we're seeing some vision of this at the moment, you're just about to embark on reprising your role in Annie.
Terrible commercial. Look at this. I don't kiss her like that ever. I never did.
And yeah, but just about to go on stage again in Annie,
this
which will
is
be
why my
very
hair
exciting.
is... I have no hair, you know, because I have so much hair. But I decided to, and having the show there. Look at that. That's me 10, 12, 11 years ago.
What do you think about Alan Jones coming on board?
Alan Jones is absolutely amazing. Is he going to be wonderful? He's going to be up there. He loved Dr. Zhivago so much that he decided to call his station the KGB.
Of course he did.
He's great. He's playing Franklin Roosevelt, so and he can't get into too much trouble because most of the night all the night he's in a wheelchair. So
we
just push him
keep
around.
him contained.
Yeah. That's the sort of role I'd like. Have a little snooze.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he'll do.
Do you still get excited about this stuff?
I do. Look, I've just come back from London, and I had 2 weeks to revise the role. It's easier when you've done it before and you can pick it up and go through it. And it is a little bit like riding a bicycle. But honestly, it's you get to the first couple of pages and go, will I ever learn this? Will it come back to me? And then after a day or so, you're really relishing the role and thinking about different ways of doing it and who you've got in your cast. We have a wonderful cast this time. Nancy Hayes, who was the original Lily, St Regis in the production in 1977 with Jill Perryman and Hayes Gordon. She's playing Miss Hannigan this time.
So what a fun role.
Great, yeah.
I've got a question. It's a bit like being an athlete to be performing, especially these really long ones like Dr. Zhivago. It was a lot of time on stage. Yeah. What sacrifices do you have to make, Anthony?
Well, you've got to be incredibly disciplined, and your time is not really your own. I mean, people would say to me, "What did you do in 1995?" And I said, "Well, The Secret Garden." Yeah, but what did you do? Secret Garden. What did you do in 1990? Phantom of the Opera. No, you must have had a life. No, Phantom of the Opera. And so each show is a year of your life, basically. And with the Macintosh productions, when they started to come along, of course, it was more than a year. Some people were contracted and stayed on for 3. And my dear friend Rob Guest, of course, who played Phantom after I left the show, was with it on and off for 7 years. Now, how he did it, I don't know. I could not have done that.
how has your philosophy to your life, but also your performance changed since lymphoma and your sickness?
Well, it's made me stronger, obviously, and the older you get, you know, the less you care in a nice way. I think that it's all the worrying and that sense of being absolutely hysterically frightened to go and do something new is kind of gone. I mean, I just hark back onto the London experience. I was asked recently to go and be part of the 25th anniversary of Phantom of the Opera, and we performed it at the Royal Albert Hall. So in essence, I've made my British debut. Woohoo! And I was there with Colm Wilkinson, who of course was the original Jean Valjean, who played Phantom. In fact, this is an interesting story. I didn't know this. He told me that he did the workshop of Phantom of the Opera for Andrew before Michael Crawford came into the role.
So the workshop is something that happens before anything happens?
Yeah, long time before. And some people who were very good in the workshop, and people would say, well, they're going to get the role. It's pretty obvious. Sometimes they just don't because of style, or the composer changes his mind about something. But it was a really wonderful experience, and I thought it was massive. And we had 5,000 people in the hall, and we did 3 performances. Cameron was there, and Andrew was there. Michael Crawford turned up on the last performance, and it was really very exciting. And I could have been very nervous about everything, but it was. I just went with the flow, you know, and it was really great.
Changes your outlook on life.
It does.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you on the couch today, Anthony Warlow, and we're going to be talking to you throughout the whole next 2 hours.
I hope so.
Don't go away. You're watching The Circle. Cheers.
Thank you. Anthony Warlow, have you got any perks?
Well, it's obviously tickets to shows, you know, overseas, and you know, the best seats, house seats. Sometimes you have to pay for them, but they usually at a very reduced price. No.
Anthony
Depends
Warlow
who you are,
paid
darling.
for stuff. Tickets to shows. The hell?
I paid to be on here.
Not much, though. He got a break. Anthony and I are very excited.
Very excited for this.
Anthony loves to cook.
I love cooking. I love cooking.
Along
I love
with
bashing
you?
things about.
I'd love to sing, but I don't have it, so...
Well, I'm sorry.
And act as well, terrible.
What are we making today, darling?
We're going to make an Israeli breakfast. It's a dish from our breakfast menu at Phoenix. It's probably my favourite dish on the breakfast menu, and it's one of the most popular. So, should we get it started?
Let's do it.
All right, what we're going to do, Anthony, I'll get you to make a dukkha. How about that?
Yeah, good.
So, we'll just chuck... So we've got pistachios, pine nuts and hazelnuts in there, and you're just going to pound them.
Yeah, I am. Look at
until they're
this.
soft. And while you're doing that, I'm going to make a labna, which is...
As long as they stay in the pistol.
Can you please keep your
right, they can
nuts
go
in
everywhere,
position,
that's
please, Anthony?
You're so rude to me. Be nice.
Right, while we do that,
Crush
should we
your
make a
veins.
labna, Georgie? I think...
Well, what is a labna?
So it's a cheese.
Okay.
That they
as in cow's cheese? Or?
No, so we're using goat's yogurt.
Right.
Goat's curd, so that's a goat's curd. We've got goat's
curd.
yogurt going in there. And some sour cream. And it's one you can make at home really easily. We just mix them all in there. Just mix them together a
And
bit.
you've just got a cheeky bit of chucks.
Cheeky bit of chucks, which we weren't allowed to use on the show, but is perfectly fine to use to strain stuff because we use it at the restaurant all the time.
I like this because I'm so sorry I don't go out and get that fancy
cheesecloth. No,
stuff.
it's too expensive.
This is great.
So all you need to do is, like that, tie it up with a bit of string and hang that in a dry, cool place, like a pantry, not in the fridge, for about 24 hours.
Garage?
Garage, if it's dry and cool.
Just don't let it drop.
Yeah, and what you get is something like this, which
Sorry,
I
how
made
long
at the
for?
restaurant.
24
hours, which I
okay.
made at the restaurant
Well, that was
yesterday. So give it a try.
So
if
need
you
to
like.
put something, if you're in the garage, just put a little bucket
Put something
underneath.
underneath it to catch it. Yeah. So and you actually want it to turn
Can I
sour.
have a look?
So it's,
Gosh, you'd feel
Is
really...
it like cottage cheese? It comes out like a cottage cheese.
It's similar to cottage cheese, similar texture to cottage cheese, but it actually goes sour. And if you try it, it's actually sour, and that's what you want.
Right.
That's when you know it's turned into a labna. So it goes.
Can I stop this
a bit
now?
sour.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. When you finish looking at that. Sorry, Anthony. Yeah, you can.
Working hard.
Yeah,
right
exactly
here.
right. Now what we do, we'll put it in here. This is how we do
pretty
it.
good.
Finish it off. So
It's basically just like a solid version of sour cream.
it is, and it'll with a bit more cheesy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what we do to that is just add a bit of flavour. So we add some dill and some lemon zest.
Right.
Really simple, and just mix that all through.
A bit like a show I was in, yeah, dill.
And then to that we.
Sorry, I just had a private joke with Anthony Warlow there on the show.
And all we need to do now is scoop that into some oil that I've got prepared. So I've got some olive oil with a bit of bay, some thyme,
That looks good.
some peppercorns and some garlic, and we just scoop little scoops, or quenelles as we call them in the
I've
restaurant.
always wanted to know how to do that.
Do you want to do
properly.
one? Let's do one. Let's do one. It'll be
How
fun.
do you do it? It's like it's
So
not
you
easy.
just
is it?
scoop it off the spoon.
Looks
So
so
2
pretty, though.
spoons,
Yeah.
and then you just sort of scoop it between the 2 spoons, and then you can go.
Right, cool.
Right, now we keep it in this oil, and because it's covered in oil, there's no air to make it go off, so this will last for a long time. So this is something you can do in advance. If you make this, you can do this, a week in advance.
Oh, marvellous.
So you're going to make a heap of them.
I feel like Julia Child. Oh no, there's so much butter everywhere. Where is the butter?
There's no butter in this because it's an Israeli dish, so we don't have a lot of butter.
Oh, no butter in Israeli.
Meryl Streep, eat your heart out.
We don't even have a whole tea. Is that enough?
That's plenty. Yeah, that's
do the
plenty.
whole thing.
So how long will this last for?
So, I mean, that's going to keep. I mean, I'm sure it'll probably keep for a couple of months, but I'll happily say a couple of weeks so that no one gets sick.
Yeah, just
If
come
I
in.
put my face in that, will I stay the age I am for a couple of months?
I don't know.
Preserved.
Give it a go, shall we?
Between that and the Shiraz, we'll be doing well.
So you just had olive oil, cloves, garlic.
Peppercorns.
Oh, peppercorns, sorry.
Garlic, thyme, a bit of bay.
Beautiful.
And just like that, and we can finish this dukkha up and
that's what I did.
Going. So you've
It's
pounded
a
all the
fabulous
spices.
smell.
So
Yes,
then,
give it up for Warlow's
we
dukkha,
go.
please,
Yeah.
everyone. It looks fabulous.
and
You're very proud of that,
I'm
Anthony.
very proud of my dukkha.
now
One of your greatest
so that
achievements.
will add just some dried spices. We've got some cumin and some coriander.
Right.
We'll add a
She'll
few
be coming round
sesame-
mountain when she
Correct.
comes.
Yeehaw.
Some sesame seeds. Now, the best thing about a dukkha is
Sesame, see, Elmo.
they can go sweet or savoury. This is just a basic one that we make, but
Okay.
there's plenty of other options. You could change it up to make a sweet one with a bit of sugar instead of salt.
Now, we're going to have to
plenty of options.
wrap it up if that's
Yeah,
right,
beautiful.
Michael. Thank you very much.
That's what
Please
we
thank Michael Wedden for the start of this.
Beautiful.
Always say the khaki isn't just a colour, it's an attitude. So have a great Steve Allen Day. Woohoo!
That was lovely.
How gorgeous is Bush?
I just want to kiss that little Bob.
Oh, he's so sweet.
And
Now,
how radiant is Bindi? She's so
Yep.
beautiful.
She's a little, like, blossoming into a little girl.
Yeah.
We've watched her grow, and she's an incredible kid. She really is. And
And
she's
how sad was the turtle? It was waving, saying, "Let's go, get off, get off." Did it have only one flipper? What was
I think it was
maybe that's why they
rescued.
saved him. Yeah.
poor little thing?
Now, they really do some wonderful and very important work with all kinds of animals at Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital. So if you can, as Bindi said, make a donation. It's a great way to honour the life and work of Steve Irwin. More details about Australia Zoo are all on our website, so check it out.
I've got one here which is really sweet. It says, "Hi ladies, love your show," and they always do, and I always try to watch it when I'm at home. Now it says, "My husband has worked in the timber industry for 7 years now, and I've been asking him to make me a dining table for years."
Oh,
Yes.
Right? And finally, he made her a chopping board. Isn't that lovely?
what a thoughtful soul.
I don't want to break the news, but a chopping board is actually just an off-cut of wood with some stoppers on the end. It takes me about 10 minutes.
Right, we'll meet some more working mums in a minute with a great business ideas after this offer from The Circle and Pat
Move
Bennett.
things straight along to a lady I know Mr. Anthony Warlow has been waiting to hear about all morning. Kim Kardashian is, of course, who I'm speaking about. And look at the excitement written all over that man's face. He's as excited as I am. Look, it's another week, another Kim Kardashian story, it would seem. This time, word is that little Kimmy K is going to sue her former publicist. She's enlisted a lawyer to...
As much as excited I am about being on that, my biggest joy is that I'm on the same album now as Anthony Warlow.
Well, you're on the same couch, and I know singers hate it when people do this, but can I put you on the spot and ask you to please do a Christmas carol
Yeah,
for
sure.
us today?
Here, we haven't rehearsed this. So, here we go. I'll be Bing Crosby. Silver bells,
Silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells,
it's Christmas time in the city. Enough, have to buy the album now.
Now, you, Anthony Warlow, of course, are famous for being Anthony Warlow.
And bald.
But also for your impersonations.
Well, they're backstage.
Now, apparently you do a wonderful Frank Spencer.
Oh, sometimes.
Have you done that for Michael Crawford?
No. In fact, when I was in London recently and he was around and I was mucking around with some of the guys and they said, whatever you do, do not do that when he's around. He doesn't really like it.
What about, we've heard there's quite a good Elmo.
There's an Elmo for you. We can have dukkha. Oh, 1 and 2.
And maybe a little bit of a former Prime Minister, as in Kevin Rudd.
Well, let me tell you about this now. This is a very good dukkha, and I'd like to say it once. I could say it one more time. I could say it twice more, but I'd rather... If you've got cameras right, got your sound. Everything's great.
Wow! Channeling Kevin Rudd. You would miss this, the mouth, and everything.
Yes.